All right, so let's start this broadcast with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. Now, the war in Ukraine has taken a pretty dramatic and a dangerous turn. A huge dam has been breached with the use of explosives in southern Ukraine, triggering massive floods downstream of the Dnipro river. The Ukrainian NATO have accused Russia of blowing up the dam, while Russia has blamed Ukraine. And in the course of the next few minutes, we'll take a look as to what has happened and what is to be expected now. We'll also explore one other crucial question, whether the warring sides have unleashed the age-old strategy of warfare, which is described as flood thy enemy. Now, thousands of people are being evacuated from settlements along the southern stretch of Ukraine's Dnipro river. Water from the breached Kakhovka dam is submerging streets and town squares. The collapse of the barrier at the southern tip of the vast reservoir has unleashed a torrent, adding misery for the thousands of people who've been caught on the front lines of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, within 24 hours of the explosion resulting in the breach, a state of emergency has been imposed in the Russian-controlled parts of Ukraine's Kherson region. And according to the emergency services, at least about 2,700 homes have been flooded and 1,300 people have been evacuated. According to Moscow, at least about 7 people are reportedly missing from the region at this moment. Now, looking downstream, Russia controls the left bank of the Dnipro river and the dam itself, and Ukraine holds the right bank. Now, each side has blamed the other for causing the explosion that resulted in a breach in this dam. Now, Ukraine has accused Russia of deliberately blowing up the dam. Moscow, however, says that it is the Ukrainian forces who have done this. Now, fearing that Ukrainians would have used the road over the dam in the counteroffensive. Russia has described this act as an act of sabotage by the Ukrainians. Kremlin has said that this sabotage will deprive the Crimean Peninsula, the whole of the Crimean Peninsula, which is currently under the control of the Russians, of water. Now, apart from sustaining thousands of people, the dam has also provides cooling water to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The power plant, which is hundreds of miles downstream, is currently under Russian control, and flooding, remember, has long been used as a strategy in war, although its effectiveness has been a matter of debate. Now, hydraulic warfare has, of course, come at a huge humanitarian cost in the past. So let's take a look at some of the incidents in the past where flooding has been used as an instrument of war. The Chinese nationalists used flooding on a massive scale in their war against the Japanese forces in 1938. The Kuomintang troops unstopped a series of dikes along the Yellow River to stop the invading Japanese forces. This had unleashed a massive water surge that engulfed about 3 of China's provinces, and at least about a million Chinese civilians reportedly drowned in the torrent, while more than 12 million were displaced because of this. Now, 5 years later, the British Royal Air Force used bombing of dams as a strategy against Nazi Germany. In May 1943, the Royal Air Force struck a pair of hydroelectric dams off the Ruhr River. The raids had knocked out power along the river valley and briefly disrupted German wartime production and caused widespread flooding. The waters also swept away more than 1,500 people. At the end of the last century, Saddam Hussein in 1993 reportedly diverted the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers away from the wetlands in southern Iraq. The Iraqi dictator ordered military engineers to drain the Mesopotamian marshes in order to deny the Shia insurgents sanctuary there. This impacted an estimated 100,000 inhabitants. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.